break the tipping point, when we go over the edge where it's 3 million every month and 3 million to walk in the park, guess who the game changes for?
All of us.
Everybody in the room. I'm with my beautiful goddess of a wife for nearly 4 decades.
Mike is now sharing his formula for a full life, allowing people to grow and expand their entire lives to achieve the impact that they want while building the wealth that they desire.
So if you are a business owner, if you run a mastermind group, you want to be involved with Mike. Take it from me, somebody who's worked with him on multiple levels. Mike is the real deal.
If there's one person in my list of who to surround yourself with, it's Mike Aguilera.
And now, please welcome Mike Aguilera.
And boom. Hey, welcome everybody. Super excited to see all of you tonight. I'm glad you decided to jump on and hang out. If you could hear me on here, can you give me a big boom in the chat bar, please? Hey, McKenna, nice to see you. Royce, what's happening? Matt, nice to see you. Aaron, Nicole, everybody. Those of you not on camera, it's always awesome if you can be on camera. I'm sure others will be joining us. How many of you are new to my world? If you're new to my world, type in new in the chat bar. If you're new, that means like you came across this link, someone shared the link, and you're here. If you're not new to my world, can you type in how long have we known each other? How long have we known each other? And make sure you're in the group chat. Sometimes you guys click over and it's like you're hitting me. You just go in the one that says everyone over there. So, okay, we got some people that are new. Hey, Tim, nice to see you. Those of you that are new, like, let me see. Tim is new here. Nicole, hey, if you are new, why don't we do this for everybody? Where did we first connect? Where did we first connect? I always build this, I got a really kick-ass agenda. I don't know if any of you are like me. I build a kick-ass agenda and then I never follow it because I look at who's here and then I decide what I feel you need and I make sure that I could deliver to you so you leave with massive value. So I would like to know where the hell did we first even meet? And there's a good chance that while I'm talking, I might curse a little bit. I like to frame that to make sure there's no small children. Are any of you going to be really offended if I curse a little bit, or you'll just pray for me tonight? Can you let me know in the chat bar? I'm going to be fine with myself. I promise you, I'm really good with myself, but I don't want you guys to be all freaked out over it. I'm also going to give you who I really am, and I don't want to be an act for you guys. If you are new, let me just share a little bit. Hey, Dave Monk. Little bit about my background. And I want this to be, I built this called the CEO Wake Up Call for a reason, because no matter how good you are, no matter how far you are in your business, I think that people running businesses just need a little bit extra wake up, because this year has been super exciting in many ways. And I also think that delusion that there's no turbulence, like we're out of it, I do think that's a delusion. I think we have some navigation still to do. Do you believe we still have some navigation? Tell me in the chat bar. Or do you think that the tariffs are all done? Do you think we're all done? Like money is going to become more affordable, like we're out in the clear? I don't believe we are. I believe we're in a testing ground. And when we come out of summer, we got how many of you spent plenty of your money this summer? Type in dollar signs in the chat bar. Did you spend a lot of money? Did you? Did you go to places? Did you go canoeing? Did you have parties, vacations, and stuff, right? Yeah, Aaron's got lots of money in there. And because that's what the world needed you to do, right? We needed to prop up the economy, get you to spend money, make you feel real safe. We won't talk about the monkey flu or whatever, and we won't say COVID's coming back, which I really think was just the flu, but good marketing, change the name, scare people in a different way. At least that's my crazy belief there. And I noticed that CEOs seem to like, there's three brackets, right? There's the bracket that I'll call like grinding it out, trying to figure it out. And they're just missing a couple components. It's the grind out group. Normally that group falls about 2.5 million and under. That's the grinding it out. Like I got to break boundaries. If you don't break, nothing's really real in my world till you break 1 million. Like, cuz really to break 1 million in almost any company, you can do it with shitty processes, shitty systems, shitty people. I mean, you could break 1 million. But you're probably not going to break 2.5 million consistently and with shitty people and shitty processes. Do you guys agree? Tell me if you agree. And so that's like bracket number one. And I'm giving you big brackets. Bracket number two is like that 2.5 million to 5 million. You figured out some marketing. You're probably spending plenty of money on it. But you're stuck in that realm, right? You have some employees, you got some good, you got some bad, you got some market share out there, but you're making money, you feel comfortable. So that's kind of the next bracket. And then there's that 5 to 10 million, right? The 5 to 10 million is like if you make a wrong decision, you don't get punched in the face. You like lose a leg, right? Anybody that's 5 to 10 million, you make a bad decision, which I'm watching a lot of CEOs do all the time. You like really can get beat up fast, right? And if there's any turbulence, like a slight economic downturn, bam, you're out of the game. And then over 10 million. So those of you that are new in my world, when I choose to deliver something like this, I'm looking at it through the lenses of all different brackets. Now, I've done over 500 million in my two companies, and we have many companies now. And I don't say that to brag to you. All I do is to say that I've been and had to navigate a whole lot of stuff. And I sold both of those companies for very incredible exits. And I learned what we talk about in business, a before, a during, and an after. Like what happens before, what has to happen now, what happens while you're building it, and what happens for the after side of things. So if you guys, if you could give me brackets where you're at, this is what I'd love to know from you. First, type in what state you're coming in from. Tell me what state. This helps me. And we got, look, Hawaii, we got people from, I think we're probably six to 10 different countries. I mean, we have 20 team members we work with, and they're in 6 countries. So we're at least probably pushing, I'm thinking maybe over 10 different countries of people that we serve today. The second thing I'd like to know in the chat bar, hey, Jim, how you doing? Nice to see you. Florida. Heading to Florida in November, Virginia Beach. That's where Morgan is. Tell me, what industry are you in? What are you in? Are you in a service industry, marketing industry? I'd love to know that. Okay. We got construction in here, consulting, electrical contracting. Okay, cool. So we're also serving 120 different industries now, which is really good for you because it makes us very well rounded. I'm not a one trick pony anymore. You know, when I grew Gold Medal, those of you that don't know, I grew a service company from under 1 million to 32 million, tracking 40 million, 165 trucks, 200 employees, sold that sucker in 2017. And then I built, and some of you have been in my world a long time, so just hear it again. Um, and then I coached 1,000 business owners, and I grew a coaching company from me teaching a couple people to 1,000 people and doing over 40 million in coaching. So that's a big organization. Sold that in 2020. And now here we are where we're Food Dog and we do life, business, and wealth by design. And when I was thinking about, and I could see all your industries there, when I was thinking about like, why are people stuck as CEOs, is the first thing I want you to write down is noise. Can you just write that word down, noise? I am watching a whole lot of people doing stuff that they're consuming information, podcasts, books. They go to certain events. You know, they get Alex Hormozi's information, if you know who he is, and everybody's looking for the magic cure without having strong fundamental basics. And I'll tell you that the basics of scaling, if you master the basics, you're going to master the scaling part. If you keep throwing complexity at it and different information, then what happens is you have noise, and noise is holding. I'm watching it now because we'll be heading into Q4, right? And I'm watching people consume, well, whatever you're not consuming, you're asking, right? So ChatGPT's become your best friend, and ChatGPT is asking, you're asking it a question. Who uses ChatGPT? Tell me in the chat bar. Okay, hands are up. And some of you love it. And then I always have the people that are so proud. They're like, oh, I'm in Gemini and whatever. It doesn't matter. It's an AI vehicle. But the problem with these vehicles is that we're asking a question and we're asking it for only our base of knowledge, hoping it's going to give us wisdom, and that this wisdom is going to fit us in this time and place. And you're hoping it's not politically driven or religious driven against what you believe in. And you're hoping that the information it actually gives you is truthful enough to move you forward, right? Have any of you asked it something and then you said to yourself, what the fuck? Like, I'm just not doing what ChatGPT said, or just me? Tell me in the chat bar. But I bet there's plenty of people that are blind, and they're just blind leading based on the vehicle. And then of course you got to get the one person that says the reason why they killed themselves because ChatGPT did it, and the reason why McDonald's killed that. Remember that other person had a lawsuit? You know, I ate McDonald's every day and I grew 800 pounds and I'm suing McDonald's. Like, McDonald's was not yanking you and chaining you to a bench in there and shoving Big Macs in your fucking mouth. But so we trust these things. So one, if you were to say, and could we just be like honest and transparent tonight? Because that's all you're going to get from me. If you were just to type in the chat bar, one thing of noise that is getting in your way, holding you back, and you really know it's noise, what is it? What is it? Now, I'm just like you investing time. I invest a lot of time in trainings with my team. I have a bunch of my team on here tonight. I got Morgan and Megan, business partner Aaron. My wife is on here. I'm always looking for what creates noise. And a friend of mine, Dean Jackson, if you guys know Dean, type in Dean. And I learned it from another guy. They actually have you ever see these? I don't know, Tanya, did you ever see these? It's almost like a lock for a cookie jar. I wish I had that shit when our kids were young, but it's like a cookie jar and it's got a keypad on it. And like, you know, so the kids can't steal the cookies, but at one time when I did eat Oreos, man, you could just pop those thing at nighttime without thinking twice, grab like 5 or 6. And I bought one of those because what I want to do is put my phone in it and lock it, Dave. And I want to lock my cell phone up for a period of time. Now, how many of you, if you just pulled your phone away from you for more than an hour, you didn't touch it, you didn't see it, you'd start to have panic attacks? Be honest with me in the chat bar. Anybody? No, none of you. I'm watching your expressions. It looks like you want to give me the middle finger or something. No, but right? You would panic. And how many of you just know that if you just locked up your phone for 1 hour and you said to yourself, in this hour, I'm only going to focus on solving this one problem, marketing, sales, operations, systems, whatever problem it is, how many of you could honestly say, and maybe you can't honestly say it, because as you're sitting there listening to me, you're like, well, Mike, I didn't try it yet. But how many of you could take a best guess, Jason and Judy, that if you did lock up your phone for 1 hour and only focused on that core thing, you'd probably create some magic? What do you think? Would you create some magic? I believe you would too. So number 1 is noise. Number 2, I want you to write down 2 words. Okay? 2 words. And as I'm talking to you, and if things are resonating with you, McKenna or Matt, I want you to give me booms in the chat bar if it's resonating, so I know I'm hitting things of value for you. I want you to write down knowledge and wisdom. Now, there's a distinct difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is information, and wisdom is experience. And a lot of people are trying to use knowledge to move them forward, and they're lacking wisdom, and that's why they stay stuck at 1 million or 5 million. Now, look, my first, I'm not, again, I'm telling you about my companies to make a point. I don't care if you're impressed. I'm not here to impress you with things. I'm here to give you a perspective of transformation where if just one thing clicks tonight, just one thing you go, I'm going to think about that different, then this was worth your time. But, when you scale one company, and I mean, my biggest year was adding 6.5 million, you get, what do they call it? Like retrospective or something. You sit back and go, what did I do and how did I do it to add 6.5 million? Now, I don't care if you're in the salon business, consulting business, it doesn't matter to me. If there's someone else in the United States or the country you're in that's doing way more than you, do any of you in an industry that you don't know somebody online or a friend doing way more than you in the industry? Tell me in the chat bar. Do you all know somebody? Do you? Do you know somebody that has a bigger salon, a bigger service business, a bigger consulting? Now, a bigger agency? The answer is, if the answer is yes, I know somebody, then it's not a problem with the industry. It's not a problem with people buying it. It's a you problem. And can you just write the word you down? Well, I mean, you could put the letter U or you. It's a you problem. And I'm not doing that to point fingers at you. I'm doing it to let you know that everything, and any of you that have been in my world, you know that your past is the navigator of your future. And the majority, I'm still a believer that a majority of the CEOs and business owners today that are stuck and not scaling to the level they want to be. And to me, what's the level you want to be? I used to say that people want freedom, right? They want freedom. But you actually could have freedom and be broke, couldn't you? You could be homeless. That's freedom, but maybe you don't want to live on the street. I believe, and you may want to write this word down and tell me if you like the word when you write it. I think what everybody wants is financial peace. Financial peace. Maybe not even peace, Jason, because I think Buddha had peace, right? But he walked around in a robe, and like, I don't want to do that. And Jesus had peace, and he walked around in a robe. But you guys don't want to just have a robe. You want financial peace with that robe. You want gold coins. You want to not worry about a mortgage. You don't want to worry about car payments. You don't want to worry about vacation. And everything I've done is to prove, not to me, to prove to you what's possible. I'm constantly breaking barriers. And if I was to be ultimate truthful, from my mind to your mind, from my heart to your heart, I would tell you I break barriers to prove it, just so you can go this. If that tattooed guy can do that, and he has no bachelor's degree, no master's degree, if he could fucking do that, and you're way younger, way smarter, more degrees, well, shit, you could do way more. So the reason I sell a service company and sign my name and walk away is to prove to others they could build and sell their company and walk away. I built a big coaching organization to prove that you can build and change an industry. Any of you that are in the service industry, and be truthful, you guys know my world. Don't lie for anybody. Don't lie for me. Do you believe that I shifted and changed a whole industry in the blue collar space? I believe I did. Now that's only to prove that you can break an industry. And now with Food Dog, we do life, business, and wealth by design. And what am I proving now? Now let me talk to a bunch of you here, and let's see if we could get honesty. So if I look at Aaron Birdsong, now Jason, don't text while you're driving. If I look at Mike M that's on here, if I look at Dave Monk that's on here, if I look at Chris that's on here, would you say, don't lie guys, Judy that's on, would you say that if you get wisdom attached to you and where you're at, that you for a fact have moved forward faster being in Food Dog than slower? Yes or no? Just type in faster if it's true. But don't bullshit, because everybody on here, if they're new, I don't want them to think I'm lying. I want it to be truthful. You're going to move way faster. Why? And I want to share this because this is part of the CEO wake-up call. I thought, and it's counter, Anthony, it's almost counterintuitive to what you think. I thought if I just kept learning marketing, sales, operations, and look, any of you that you're probably more technical than me, you want to talk about funnels and you want to talk about email campaigns and cross-pollination marketing, like I'm in it with you. But I used to think that was the secret sauce till I found out that the business actually follows the life, right? If your life is dialed in, it's easy to get business dialed in. If your life and business, right, Judy, you're shaking your head. If life is dialed in and business is dialed in, it's easy to scale wealth. Now, I've done two huge exits in about the last 6 years. And that's, most people never do one exit. But now I learned after helping over 115 other people exit, that was in my immediate world. There's probably another 20 I helped exit from consulting businesses, coaching businesses. I've learned that if we get 3 parts together, now watch the other thing. This is the part people say, okay, I got my life and I got my business together. Why don't I get to wealth? Because you have to optimize yourself for wealth first. Are you listening to me? Can you type in listening? You must optimize your thinking for wealth. If your mind is not programmed for wealth, and I was telling someone today, they said, oh, I have a lot of debt. No. People don't have debt. You know what they have? Are lack of money right now. They don't have debt, right, Judy? They just have lack of money. That's all. Because if you had more money, then the debt would go away. And I'm not against that because any wealthy person understands how to, the smartest in the world. What do? Tell me in the chat bar, because you're all smart here. You wouldn't be hanging out with me if you're not smart. The smartest and wealthiest people in the world, do they use their own money more or others people's money to make more money? Tell me. Yeah, so Tim says, I have wealth. Yeah, looking for, what do you say? You're looking for fun and stuff. I have wealth. I'm looking for fun projects. Yeah, right? And you want life, business, wealth by design. I was just telling, because I went to this new internal doctor today, and I was sharing, like, my wife and I, we eat breakfast every day together. We eat dinner every single day together, unless something weird's happening or I'm teaching or something every day. Why? Because that's fun. What we build and help people, we can do it from anywhere in the world. Why? Because it's fun. And Tim, if you ever decide this, what we also do is we're impacting the world. That's why I'm here with you. I don't have to be here at 7 o'clock. I'm here because I want to, not because I have to. Because if just one person, my son asked me today, he's not on here, he's training. He said to me, Dad, how many people are registered tonight? You know what I said to him, Art? I said, I don't know, and I don't care. If one person shows up, I'm going to impact that one person. That's what we're going to do. And if no one shows up, I'm going to talk to the camera and then play it somewhere so it impacts somebody. So I'm never bored with that. So as the CEO, right, I want you to write down 3 more words. Ready? Here we go. Passion, purpose, power. I used to call this the 3 Ps. Passion, purpose, and power. Now, passion, people tell me, oh, Mike, I love what I do. I love it. They tell me, I love being an electrician. I love owning a service car. I love climbing in attics. And then I go, okay, well, why are you even on here? Just do more, just climb in attics every day and just stop. Just stop talking. Just climb in attics, man. And they go, well, I don't want to do it forever. Then you don't love it. Because if you loved it, you'd want to die with it. True or true? Tell me in the chat bar. You'd want to go. Now, if you have passion, the passion will align with your purpose. Now, so many people are looking for like their godly purpose, like the finish line. I want to be Buddha when I'm done. You know, I want to go to Nirvana. And as a CEO, I think what people really want is, what's your purpose now? What's your purpose now? Because if you keep questing for an undefined purpose, guess what happens with your mind? Tell me in the chat bar, Judy, does it feel complete or incomplete? It feels incomplete. But if you tell your mind, my purpose right now, and your purpose could be, my purpose is I'm going to shift the culture in my company. I'm going to make it so fun to work at. I'll tell you, there was a couple times in every business I own, not Food Dog, and I don't plan because I become smarter, but there was a time in my service company, I said, I'll burn this bitch to the ground. Did any of you ever feel like that? Give me a hand up, or just me. Come on. All right, I got you, Chris. I mean, many mornings I said, I'm just going to burn this thing right to the ground. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. And then I said to myself, early on, I was like, I'll just get rid of it. I'll sell it. And I had a coach tell me something. It was very powerful. Do you want to know it? Tell me, please, if you want to know it. It was very impactful. He said, of course, you don't like it. You should sell it, Mike. So all of your poor skill sets and all of your problems follow you right to the next thing. And he goes, that will be enjoyable to watch you do it twice. And I went, you ever have a moment like you just want to say, fuck you, asshole, right? You better beep that shit out, I guess. I guess if we play this over Facebook, maybe we got to beep it out. You want to be like, but then you take NyQuil, right? You drink NyQuil and you say, man, he was right. He was right. Why am I trying to run away? You're not running ever. Write this down, everybody. I'm never running away from my business. I'm running away from my poorest skill set. See, I feel like Food Dog's in the result business. We're in the skill set business. And if we could just help you, and I'm going to give you 3 things to write down. And if you write these 3 things down, there's more to it. I can only do so much in an hour. But if you nail these 3 things, you'll nail the rest of this year. And everything I'm sharing with you, why I called it, Jason, the CEO wake-up call, is because if you have employees that don't have passion and purpose and power in your company, you have a what? Tell me in the chat bar. You have a what if you have employees? If you don't have passion, purpose, and power in your company, then you're not scaling your company because your mind's going conflict. I love it. I hate it. You got a job, right, Tanya? You got a job. Now, everything I'm teaching you, you may be sitting there going, Mike, I heard it. It's about me. Maybe you needed to hear it different. It's not about you. It's about every single department in your organization. If you don't have passion and purpose and power for your marketing, you suck at marketing. True? Type in true in the chat bar. Is that true? Now, if you get clear on these next three things, Renee, everything moves faster. First, clarity. Write it down, everybody. Clarity. So far, just so you know, I covered nothing I wanted to cover, but it's okay. I'm going to give you exactly what I feel you need to hear today. And are you getting massive value? Tell me. Otherwise, you would have hung up and went on and watched Netflix. We just finished the series Sirens. Did any of you watch that? The Sirens? Look it up, Aaron. They play this music. They play this creepy music through the whole thing. Yes, it's a great one. But forget about the Sirens. You're here with me now. We're together here. So clarity is exactly what do you want life to be like, look like, feel like. You have to embrace it so much. You have to demand from your past programming exactly how life will be moving forward. You must demand to your past programming. You must demand to your past failures that doesn't matter anymore. This is how life is now, today. And when you look at a company, I watch a lot of people, they're not clear. Oh, what if I hold my employee accountable and they quit? You know what someone told me 20 years ago? This is what they told me, David. What if you never hold them accountable and they stay forever? I said, oh man, that sounds horrible, doesn't it? That sounds worse. So you got to have clarity. And I know you guys heard the exercise, but you know, I coached 1,000 business owners. That was 5 years ago. So I got to change the number because I'm way past that in the last 5 years. It's probably thousands now because we work with business owners every week. A whole bunch of them. If any of you are in my world, type in Food Dog's world so they know. Like I got a lot of people in here on my world, many different levels. We do one-on-one coaching. We help them and we solve the problem. Why? Because we're the coach to the coaches, right? So we need you to get clarity. How do you want life? How do you want your relationship to be? Have any of you scaled anything big and have a dysfunctional relationship with your partner? Nope. None of you. I doubt it. That's called normally divorce or horrible relationship, right? Now, once we have clarity, the second thing we need, right? Once we have clarity, we need alignment. We need alignment. And alignment is, I say to people, does your team know where you want to go? Do your kids know what you want to do? Do your family know what you want to do? Does your wife know what you want to do? Because you might be clear. How many of you, okay, men, women, you could watch. Okay, I got a lot of powerful women on here because I know a lot of you. So women, just watch. Men, how many of you made decisions to grow empires and you just forgot to include your partner in that conversation for a slight moment? Tell me in the chat bar. Any of you? You just for a moment? And then one day they said, when are you coming home? What are you doing? Right? Isn't there a different way? Right? So once we have clarity, we have to have alignment. How many of you are driving to scale your company, but you're not communicating enough to your team how you want to end this year? Tell me. Because if your team doesn't know the outcome, now most people are just revenue driven. And what I was telling people the end of last year is 2025. Okay, those of you in my world, what's 2025? It's a what year? Tell me in the chat bar. It's a what year? Let's see who gets it. Jason wants to type it while he's driving. There you go. It's a foundation year. People say, oh, I grow that. I say, I don't care if you grow this year. Build a foundation. And the reason why we did that, because we don't know what's happening. And as long as we build a strong foundation, we'll springboard. Now you could hold me to this prediction. You could record this section. We'll create, and a lot of you on this will be that, we'll create more financial peace from now to 2030 for business owners than ever in history. And Food Dog itself will have an impact on that. We know that. Why? Because it was foundation year. A lot of people have people scaling and they're scaling into the danger zone, or they're giving them so much stuff, they're stuck. They don't even know the next move to make, right? So we have to have clarity and we have to have alignment. We have to have accountability. Can you write that down? People say to me, Mike, I want to come to your training. I want to join your program. I need someone to hold me accountable. And you know what I tell them? Well, I'm not gonna. And then you ever have that moment where somebody goes like, well, they're confused, like, why? I said, no. You don't want me to hold you accountable. Do you want me to hold you accountable or teach you how to become accountable to yourself? You guys tell me in the chat bar. You want a dad or a mom, or do you want a skill set? You want a skill set. You don't want someone to go, did you do, I'm going to be silly for a moment. Can I be silly? Type in silly. Can I be silly? Yeah, Judy, I could be silly. Like, right, Jason? You don't need a mom to go, did you do poo-poos in the potty? Like, what the fuck is that? You're grown-ups. You're adults. You don't need that. You need to learn how to be accountable, which the only way to do that, we have to reprogram the past so you could create a more powerful future. Some of you heard me say this before, so I'm going to say it again just to reinforce it. Your biggest future that you desire, it's already created. It is, Rodney. It's already created out there. McKenna, your biggest future is already created. But you know what it's waiting? It's waiting for you to catch up. That's what it's doing. It's waiting for you to catch up. So we have clarity, alignment, and accountability. Now, I thought what would be a good thing is we worked really hard on a business audit tool. It's a business scorecard. And I was thinking what would be a valuable use of our time today, and you tell me in the chat bar if it would be. I felt it because it took us 6 to 8 months to build the damn thing, and I think we'll charge in the future for it. I thought if you think it's a great idea inside, why don't I give you the link for it? And why don't we do it together right now so you could gain all the value from my thinking on every single bracket of this business scorecard. It's only going to probably take us about 15 or 20 minutes to do it. And I promise that it will have massive value. Would you be all in on it? Yes, type in all in. Now you can't do it if you're driving. So this is what we'll do. I'm going to have my team put a link in the chat bar, and I want you to click on the link, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to do it together. And I'm not going to just tell you what it is. I'm going to teach you things through it, because what I want you to do is take our effort and our energy and our investment that we made in this thing. And you know what I want you to do? I want you to take the questions and bring it to your team, and have your team do it so you have a baseline of what you're thinking and what they're feeling. Is this a slight possibility, everybody? Do you think for a moment that you might be thinking one way and everybody in your world is feeling a different way? Yes? Tell me in the chat bar. Yes? Or is it just me? I'm the only one that's ever confused people, right? So let's do it together and let's walk through it. So the link's in the chat bar. I want you to click on the link, and as soon as you're on the link and you'll get to a page that looks like this, I want you to give me the biggest boom you've given me tonight in the chat bar. The biggest boom in the chat bar. I'm also going to give you the psychology behind the thinking of this, because one, a lot of you are going to get massive value through every one of these. Number two, well, some of you are probably going to say, shit, I need to do this with my company. And number three, some of you that are in consulting or something, you're going to go, oh, shit, this is a good thing. I should build a thing like this for my salon business and survey my salon customers about different hairstyles and products and colors, or maybe I should do my service company. See, what I'm teaching you tonight every single thing we build. In the past, Anthony, we used to say to ourselves, does this fit a service company? That's my old past, 5 years ago, what I call my weaker self. Today, my most powerful self is, does this work in everyone? So when you have the scorecard ready and you're on the marketing one, can you type marketing? Type in marketing. Now, I can't wait for all of you to catch up for time. I'm just going to have to hope you all catch the hell up. So if you look at this marketing and lead generation effectiveness, the first one is 1 to 3. So rate yourself. You're not generating any leads, or you pick the number. And I'll show you when you come down here, after you pick your number, you just click the thing here and pick the number. So the next one, you generate leads inconsistently, relying on sporadic efforts. You have a system that brings leads predictably and consistently. And you have an unstoppable automated lead generation machine that dominates your market and fuels exponential growth. Now, what I want you to do is pick the number you're at. And look, if I make this big, it says, what's the goal number? Well, don't pick 10 for everything or 12. Everything's not a 10 or 12. Maybe you're like, I'm a 4. If I could just get to a 9, that would be great. And then give any, if you want to give feedback, because we're going to look at these. If you want to give feedback, I'm working with an agency and they're giving me fancy language, but they're not getting me leads. Any of you that need an agency, I have a network of people I trust. So you just reach out to me and like, I'm in a service company. I need someone to get me leads. I'm like, boom, come to me. I have people that I trust, right? You give feedback. Now, don't fill this out from ego. Fill it out from reality. And after you do fill it out and you go to the next page, just say ready in the chat bar. Just say ready in the chat bar and I'll go to the next page. Now, your goal is, in order to create wealth, sleep better, and abundance of money, you want to have what? You want to have an unstoppable automated lead generator. You don't build companies doing 30, 40 million if you don't. You build companies that are probably under 10 million, and some of them from 10 and under, not even a company. It feels like a damn jail cell. Okay, so I'm going to just click next because I'm seeing a bunch of ready stuff there. So do you all agree? Tell me in the chat bar, because I got a lot of things happening on my screen now. Do you agree that marketing is very important? Tell me in the chat bar. Yes? Is marketing very important? If you know who Dan Kennedy is, type in Dan. Dan Kennedy is the godfather of marketing. I mean, I spent time with him and 6 other of my friends, but I remember over 20, 25 years ago being in a room and I got set up for a trick question. I'm going to set you up for the trick question. What business are you in today? So Cheryl, type in, what business are you in? Is it self-defense? Everybody type what business you're in, because that's what he asked me. And I said, I'm in the electrical contracting business. And you know what? He changed my life that day, 25 plus years ago. He said, yep, Dave. He said, nope, you're only in one business. You're in the business of marketing. So if you are not skilled at marketing, I'll tell you my insight is I believe you should understand marketing enough to not be ignorant. Now, I'm not someone, I don't know how to function and go high level. And I don't know how to do active campaign. And I don't know how to do keep. And I don't know how to set up email. I don't. But I know enough about it to build it and work with people. Why? Because if you're busy learning that, you're not busy doing what? Tell me in the chat bar. You're not busy scaling. You're not busy doing owner stuff. You're not doing owner stuff. Okay? That's one of the things, like when you talk about marketing, when we work at Business Power and some of our events, but Business Power, we teach a whole section on marketing. Why? Because when you get out of ignorance, you will spend less on marketing and get more. And how many want to spend like a lot less and get way more? Give me a boom in the chat bar. Now, when you look at this sales power conversion, you struggle to close sales, which a lot of you probably don't. You close deals inconsistently, which could be you have team, or you convert 80% of qualified leads predictably through proven systems. And 10 to 12, your sales process is finely tuned engine that creates raving fans, premium pricing, nearly effortless, which is our world today, right? when people show up for us or I get on a call, they're just like, yeah, because I don't have to sell anybody. I just serve them and they go, man, if I'm in Mike's world and I have the resources, the tools, the knowledge, the information, I'm going to move faster. How many of you have had learning curves? Type it in the chat bar, learning curves. Have you had that? It's funny. I got this chat bar here and it's right where my ring light is. Have any of you had learning curves? The answer is no, you have not. You have lack of education and you have lack of wisdom. You don't have learning curves. Okay? Just like you don't have debt, you have lack of money, right? So put it in for me. Where are you at now? Be honest, be truthful. You're not trying to impress me at all. Some of you, I could tell some of you went ahead and you're superstars. You know how I could tell? Like Robert. Robert, I could tell you're a superstar because he's like, just like a typical electrician. I'm gonna fucking finish that shit, Mike, before you're done talking. Because it texted me. So don't go too far ahead, everybody. Because I want you to listen to me too. I want you to listen. But I expect nothing less from Robert because I know how he functions. He's a $10 million company in a little box right now, waiting to be a big company that takes no more effort and energy, just a lot more fun. So if you look at that, rate yourself, and then boom, hit some notes. Now I have to rate so I can move on for here. And how many of you, when you close your eyes at night, you would love nothing more than not your schedule booked, but products actually purchased? How many of you, like if you own an agency or a hair salon, you'd like to wake up in the morning and have an email and say, hey, I know you run an agency. I just sent you $35,000. Could you just start the marketing for me and handle it? Hey, I want to get hair and nails and everything done. I sent you $5,000. I'd like you to just do a couple things and make me look like no one else has ever made me. How many of you want that? How many of you want a service company that says, hey, I need a new air conditioner. I heard it's 25 to 30,000. I sent you 50,000. Could you come and do that? Tell me in the chat bar. Of course you do. But the reason why you don't have that, now look, people that are building companies 30 million and above, they have predictable systems that sell while they sleep. People buy and they buy more and they buy often, right? This one, relationship power. We talked about this a little bit. Number one is you have tremendous friction with family, team, or clients. That looks like when I hear, a lot of times it's more wives than husbands. Wives say, he works all the time, he never stops. And I go, do you like that? And the answer almost always is no, I don't. So that's friction. Number two, you invest time, but often feel distracted or focused. That's when I say, tell me how he functions at home. He's always on his phone, very distracted. Do you like that? They say what? No. You nurture deep trust-based relationships that inspire loyalty and commitment, or you cultivate relationships that elevate. Now, relationships go from your culture to your family, to your children. Now, I can't say I'm a master at relationships. I'm going to say I'm pretty darn good because we teach people it, but also me and my beautiful wife are together over 40 years. It's 4 decades since we're 15 years old. I only had one partnership that I bought out, but that was successful for many years. And every partner that I've been with, business partner, is still great relationships and been successful because I focus on relationship power. How many of you know you need to give a little more effort to relationship power? Click the buttons and move forward. I could tell a bunch of you. Some of you are just moving so fast ahead because you want me to call out your name like you're a superstar. So I'm going to do that because I'm getting a kick out of it. So Matt Boyley, you're second in the race. Good job. Good job. I could just see him popping up here. Now, are you getting value from reviewing this? Tanya, is it getting you thinking about things? Yeah? Cheryl, is it getting you thinking about things? Are you evaluating inside your mind? Look, Dave Dolek, another one. Boom. Now everybody's in a race, Cheryl. Everybody's in a race to do it. All right, but let's do leadership power. Your team lacks direction and accountability. Now, if your team does not lack direction and accountability, if I look at the highest level, it's called ownership mentality. I'll show you an ownership mentality. Megan on Food Dog Team, type in the chat bar where you live and what time it is, okay? Okay, or 4, 5, and 6, you provide guidance, but still handle most responsibilities yourself. You're a firefighter, for God's sakes. You're just not, look, it's 12:50 a.m. She's here. My son asked me who needs to be on tonight. I said me and one other person. Put whoever wants to be on. It doesn't matter to me. And Morgan's here, Megan's here. Megan could have said, I don't want to be here, but she's here, right? Because she's in it for the long haul, the big game, the impacting lives. And I would imagine I'm guessing at this, she's here because she's learning and growing, right? Now, if your team is not here and you knew about this, answer me in the chat bar. If your team knew about this training and they're not here, what's it saying about your team? Well, you're sure the hell not in number 10. Your team operates at the highest level, self-sufficient, innovative, fully aligned with your vision, freeing you up. You're not at 10, 11, 12. So if I look at the survey later and I know you and you put 10 about your team and they didn't show up, I'm going to probably text you back and go, bullshit. You lied on your survey. Because I won't serve you by singing Kumbaya. I'll only serve you by telling you the truth. All right, fill it out, everybody. How many of you know here on the leadership one, you're saying to yourself, I got some work to do? Type in the chat bar for me. You got some work to do. Yeah? All right, how many of you are going to stay until I finish the survey? You're all in for till I'm done. Type in all in. You good? You're all in till I'm done, or you're going to leave early because you're all flustered because I pointed out some thorns and you can't handle the heat. Can you guys take the heat? Okay. All right, good. I'm glad. All right, business power. This is operational efficiency. Your operations are reactive and inefficient. Possible. You operate with some systems, but you lack scalability and consistency. If you have frustrations because people keep doing shit wrong, you probably have a system problem. Why? Because systems also get people ownership mentality. Your business operates with precision, scalability, and minimum friction. Or the last one, your business runs like a world-class machine, fully optimized, highly profitable, and positioned for limitless expansion. Now, just so you know, I hope it's okay, as you're going through this, even though I'm just answering quickly, I am regulating ourselves. I put us at a 10 right now, right here. We're at a 10. Why? Look, you see the team on here. You see them in the chat bar, how they function, right? So ask yourself operationally. Now I had to prove this out in my service company. When I had 165 trucks, is that a lot of vehicles? Tell me in the chat bar. Is 165 a lot of vehicles? Is 200 employees a lot of people? I had to prove that I could run that company without an office in the building. No office. I had to prove I could run it without going there every day. And I did. That's why they bought it and they spent a lot of money on it and I walked away. That's operationally excellent. Okay. All right, let's keep going. I'm proud of you guys. You're hanging all in there. Okay, wealth power, financial peace. Now, you live paycheck to paycheck without financial planning. That's like I hear people, I work with people, I don't know how I'm going to make payroll next week. And I go, okay, but how many times? That happened a lot. I said, okay, well, you're fucking not listening or you're not doing shit. Because there's no lack of humans on planet Earth, and there's no lack of people without money. There's only lack of you going to the right people to get money for the quality you deliver, service. You have some savings and investment, but lack a comprehensive wealth strategy. I know more people broke off their ass with rental properties that brag to me, Cheryl. They brag to me all the time. Oh, I got like 5 different rental properties. Well, I don't even, what are we even talking about? Your second sentence is you're broke. Yeah, but I'll have that as an investment for when you die. Like, I don't even know what you're telling me right now, right? Everybody's always trying to impress me with their strategies of being broke, right? I have 5 different companies. Why are you on here? Well, they're broke. I get it. So let's just come on and say, Mike, the companies aren't working. My real estate portfolio makes me feel very significant around my friends and family, but it's not working. Okay, let's get to work. How many of you just know that people just got to get real? When I had 1 truck on the road, I was in an organization and a guy with 50 trucks said to me, oh, how big's your company? I said, I got a truck and I'm excited. And then he walked away from me. I was like, what an asshole. And I was so proud because you know what? I wasn't a liar. I was truthful. This is where I am. But I also told them, just like you, where I'm going, and not foo-foo the commitment you make, because if there's there's purpose. If there's passion and purpose, there's going to be what on the end? Who remembers? What's the third P? Passion, purpose, and come on, power. So the last one is you've achieved total financial peace, creating generational wealth while making money work for you. I'll tell you what I found out is the best thing about financial peace. You don't worry about what you need. Like if you need a doctor, I went to a new doctor today and she's like, oh, we don't take insurance. And my answer was what, Cheryl? Okay, no problem. Because I wanted to get myself to a point of financial peace, which makes it never a problem to help me, my wife, my kids, people we love and care about. All right, let's go to the next one. You guys are doing great. Okay, life power, work-life alignment. Now, your work and personal life are in constant conflict. I wish I was boating. I wish I was hunting. I wish I was fishing. You know how many people I know? Any of you love to hunt? You know how many people I know that love to hunt and they're on their cell phone while they're in the deer stand or something? And I'm like, you're not hunting, dude. You're not hunting. You just moved your office to what they call a deer stand. That's all you did. Oh no, I love to boat. I said, no. Your office just is on your boat now. You're losing fish. You're watching your phone. Okay, you balance work and life inconsistently, often sacrificing one for the other. How many of you have some life balance turbulence? Tell me, be truthful. Come on. I had it for decades. I'm not lying to you. I had it for decades. It took a lot to figure out how to get that aligned. And you live aligned, or the last one, you experience complete time freedom. And write this down, everybody. Write it, even if you heard it a million times. Life, business, and wealth by design. Write it again. Life, business, and wealth by design. If this becomes your mantra, life, business, wealth by design, life, business, wealth by design, you will convince your brain to wire new neural pathways to help you create life, business, and wealth by design. But if you tell yourself this over and over, Tanya, life sucks, relationship sucks, my neighbor sucks, then your brain will create more suckiness for you. Someone said, I feel like I have a black cloud. I said, who do you think built it? It wasn't me that built it. You built it all by yourself and you've done a good job. That cloud keeps growing, right? All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, there we are. We're at the end. Of course, you could watch this cool little video. And for some of you that are new in my world or you're not in my world with one, we did just so you guys know, we just opened up a couple spots in our program for people who want to come and work with us every week. I'll share with you real quick the value of that. And then if it's a fit for you, book a time and I'll get on with you. But a guy today, one of my clients, it doesn't matter who, I'm not going to tell you who, he said to me, I'm thinking about, this is what he said, David, I'm thinking about renting this building to run my company out of. And this is the location and this is what it is and this is the price. And I asked them 3 questions and I said, don't do it. How many of you have done things and just found out that was a pretty stupid move, that if you just asked the right person, you would not have made the mistake? What do you guys think? Now, in hindsight, what does the right things do? They build brands. I built more plumbing brands, plumbing, heating, service brands, fucking every brand's from even consignment stores, dog training, AI companies, outbound companies. Why? Well, because when you're looking at these things, when you do the right thing with the right position at the right time, you get the right result. You just have to back the energy. Once the strategy's there, there's no lack of people. Unless you live in the rainforest, I guess. If you're in the rainforest, there might be no customers. Otherwise, it's lack of effort. And your values have to align on it. You know? I have a lot of people in my world. For some reason, I attract a lot of runners. Are any of you runners? You get up every morning and you sniff butterfly asses and then you run for like 3 hours or something. Are any of you like that? Well, I seem to attract runners. I'm not a runner. I learned how to fight because I don't run very well and I can't run real far. And I say to them, like, I love that you run, but you never build anything while you're running. You never sold anything while you're running. And you complain your business is not growing, but you had a good run. So I just say, it's okay, you run, but it better be productive. Is that resonating for all of you? Put it into what you're doing. What are you doing that's not scaling you fast enough? Now, I'm not telling you to stop it. I'm telling you to find a way to work with it. They call that compounding time. Compounding time. When I compound time, right? If I'm doing exercise bands, I'm also watching and learning something, or I'm coaching somebody, I'm doing something else. That's called compounding time, right? If you're doing one function at a time, you're full. And the other thing that I'd like to see all of you really think about, going from now to the end of the year. I want to give you two concepts. Can I give you two more? Can you even handle two more? Tell me in the chat bar. Are you getting massive value? It's okay. If you're not getting massive value, flip me the middle finger and I'll just assume nothing good was on TV. It's okay. You won't offend me. But two more things I feel would be major value for you guys, okay? The first thing is the theory of one domino flips 20. And some of you are such creatures of habit that you're still doing the same things the way you've done it for decades. But time has changed. Time has changed tremendously, and you guys know that. So I'm going to give you three things. Three. More might come. I'm going to talk to you till I'm done talking tonight, okay? So one, you need to flip over something. If it's a marketing vehicle, I watch people do marketing. They go to the direct mail person, then they go to the SEO person, then they go to the pay-per-click person, and then they go to this billboard person, they go to this person, and the magazine person. Now that is trying to simultaneously, Jason, push over 10 dominoes. And then you know what, Matt? You're like, I need to meet with this marketing person and this salesperson. And then you go and you try to push 10 more one dominoes. And the only thing that gets done is you get fatigue. Who can relate? Tell me in the chat bar. But if I had one domino and I had one person that I said, this is what I need, and I flip it, and all of a sudden it goes like this. It goes to the direct mail person. It goes to the sales division. It goes to the HR division. It goes to the customer. One domino starts a trigger of 20 things for you. How would life be? Better or worse? Tell me in the chat bar. Are you listening to me or are you just watching me now? It'd be better. It'd be better. So that's number one. I want you to evaluate. We call it optimization. Okay. In my world, the first thing I do when I work with people, what do we have to optimize? What are you doing that's not working? You're a contracting business. Okay. Well, if you know how to do plumbing, you should probably do plumbing, maybe HVAC, maybe electrical. If you're a salon business, what's the other services you could put in? If you're an IT business, what other services? Like, how do we optimize what you have, what you're doing? If you have 5 marketing vehicles and they're fragmented, how do we get them aligned? Number 2, I've nailed it. I built it. It's working. We're doing it with our highest level clients. And any of you that are not in our world as a client, I would invite you. We'll interview. We don't just take anybody. If you have a credit card, it doesn't matter. It's got to be a fit for our culture. But if at least raise your hand and we could have a talk, is one of the things we do is we're creating 24-hour organizations. Now, hang on, take a deep breath. Okay, Tanya, wait. I'm not asking you to do way more. I'm not. Okay, Dave, I'm not asking you to do way more. You do realize that people are awake while you're asleep. That's the magic of the world. I don't know. I don't know if it's flat or round. I can't prove it. I believe we live in a flat, round world. Take that for whatever it's worth. But I do know for a fact that well, normally Megan maybe be sleeping and I would be awake, but someone's awake. Now, if you could have all your marketing being run while you're sleeping, if you could have all your billing, all your reporting, all your emails sent out, and when you woke up in the morning, it was already done, tell me what would happen in your company. Yes? Magical? Would it be magical? Yeah, of course it would be magical. What better way to do business than do it while you're sleeping? Now, if you got to physically do physical work, you know, you got to physically do the work, hands, people with hands, well, I'm still a believer in 24 hours. I think there's enough people that'll pay you to work through the night. Now, before you say, I'm not asking you to work through the night. I ran 2 shifts in my service company, Jason, 2 shifts. I had my morning to 6 and my 6 to 11. Because you tell me, do most people want people to come to their house? If you're a working person and all of you in a company and you need something done at your house, do you want them at 2 or you like them at 6 or 7 when you're home? Most people want what? 6 or 7. Can you charge more or charge less? Charge more. And I had some customers that wanted us to start work at 12 at night. And I had team that loved to do it. They worked through the night. So what if you were a 24-hour organization? Tell me what that would do for your company if you figured it out. I'm not saying you will. It takes skill. But if you figured it out, you would easily multiply your business by what? Tell me. You'd multiply your business by a lot, not by 3 times, because there's a compounding effect to it. Okay? So we have 1 domino has to dump 20 to 50 dominoes. We have to optimize our company. Are you guys writing this shit down? You got to optimize your company. And then the other thing we need to do is create a 24-hour organization. Now, the last one. Oh man, it's a combination of 2 things, Judy. Judy, you having fun tonight? Combination of 2 things. Judy, I'm like the only one you don't do a call with anymore. I think like you're annoyed with me. My wife, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm on with Judy. Aaron, what are you doing? I'm on with Judy. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is Judy not on with me? It's okay. You're getting what you need. You're getting what you need. I'm happy for you. Those of you who don't know Judy, Judy came out with it. Judy, post the link for your books. Author Judy here. Incredible. If anybody wants to know, she works for a big company. She has another company. She works for a company. If she wants to say she can, she always gets mad when I brag about her, but I love her and I'm always impressed by what she does. And also she has another company. So tell everybody about yourself, Judy. And so I wanted to finish. Oh, here's the 2 things. Ready? Shiny object. You guys, stop buying shit off of fucking Facebook links and stuff, for God's sakes. Yeah, how many links of shit are you going to buy and sit in your email? Stop buying stuff. Just wait a minute. If it's not solving the next thing and it's not giving you the answer to where you're at today, look, if it's not Food Dog, reach out to us. I'll get you to someone, I'll get you to someone else. Trust me, here's one thing about us. You need a skill set. You need marketing. You need a CPA, a tax expert, a bookkeeping expert, an AI expert, an IT and cybersecurity expert. Who should they reach out to, Jason? Tell them in the chat bar. Reach out to me. I'm not offended if we're not a fit for you, but it's better if I guide you because you're probably going to move, I guess, way faster. But if we are a fit for you and what I'm making sense, stop buying shiny objects and start making your company ready. Wait for it, Renee. Renee, I can't wait to hook up with you. I want your company to be the shiniest object. What if you made your company, right, Royce? What if your company was the only shiny object we focused on and everything had to feed that machine, right? So we got to kill the shiny object syndrome because I'm watching that every day. I'm watching people go to things that don't make sense. Now, look, we have things for you. And if it makes sense, you come in. If it doesn't, then you don't. I'm going to give you a prescription at the end. I'm going to end with my prescription for you guys. But there was one more on top of shiny object I wanted to give you, and we'll get ready to wrap a ribbon around this. Okay, it will come to me. So let me give you guys, first off, you have the rest of this year. You should take, somebody do the math for me on my team. How many days are left the rest of this year? What I would do is give you an exercise. I would take the last amount of days left. I would lock myself in a room with my team and I would reverse engineer every day that's left this year. Exactly the money you want to make, how you want the culture to look like, what you want your marketing to spend to be, what you want your lead generation to feel like, what you want your sales cycle to feel like. And I would reverse engineer that. Still today, reverse engineering is the most strategic thing in a company. Go to the end, start in the end, go in reverse. But most people are doing what? You know what they're doing. They're starting today and trying to go that way. That's the wrong plan. It's the wrong plan, everybody. You got to start with the end in mind, reverse engineer it. And I want you to do it for the last, it's a little over a quarter you have, for the last quarter. And if you get the right answers to the right decisions and do the right things at the right time, you will build a foundation that will scale the rest of this year. And how you end this year is how you will conquer 2026. So eliminate, write this down on your paper. Let's make a commitment, put in your words. I will eliminate any business weakness before December 31st, 11:59 p.m. I will eliminate. That's called the command. You're commanding upon yourself the outcome that you want. I command that I will eliminate. I command my marketing will work better. I command that my culture will be fun and alive. I command an ownership culture. Because I promise, first off, anything you're building, man, it's a world of opportunity. Let me give you my prescription. Is it okay if I give you what I feel is something to consider? And you consider it. And you sleep on it tonight. And if it makes sense, you think about it. A lot of people here already know my prescription. So they'll just listen and go, check, check, check. I'm already doing it. So here's my prescription. And then if you guys want, some of you that are new, I could end this off. We have a brand new video we built. It's about 10 minutes long. I'll play that video for you if you want to watch it. If you listen through the video, you're going to learn a lot. You're just going to learn a lot about yourself and where you want to go. Do you guys want me to play the video at the end when I'm done? Yes? Okay. Even if you watch the video and say to yourself, even if the one thing is after watching the video, you go, oh, I should create a fucking video for your own company, then boom, I served you. I served you. Okay. Let me give you my prescription. Prescription one to consider. We have an event coming up. It's called Business Power. It was going to be in person, but for unforeseen circumstances, it's got to be online. The gift of it being online is you could do it from the comfort of your home. The other gift of it being online, you could have team members on it. Now, if any of you are already registered for Business Power to attend, can you write Business Power in the chat bar? Can you write Business Power? If you're interested in Business Power and attending it, what I want to do is I'm going to give you a link in the chat bar. I believe if you're new in my world or you're not a full-time client of ours, which I hope you will become because we are moving people faster than anybody else I know, is attend Business Power. Find a way to make those days. It's 9:30 doors open. We end by 6 Eastern time. It's 3 days in a row. And we're going to give you business, sales, operate. I'm going to throw everything at you I can. And what I didn't promote is I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a couple guest speakers. And that guest speaker could be a tax expert, a financial wealth expert, and a couple others. I might do that as some bonus ones at the end of the day, but you're going to have to show up to see because I'm there to serve whoever is committed to this training to change their life, change their business, change their relationship with the outcome to get to financial what? Tell me in the chat bar, everybody. Financial what? Peace. So that's my first prescription for all of you. My second prescription is we just opened up a couple more spots in our legacy program. We are being very selective today, which means the interviews with me. So if you would like to know what it would look like to have support, for us to look to approve your marketing, if you're interviewing an agency, have us to approve that. If you're looking for that level of service, you're doing billboards, you're putting systems, you want to buy software, you're building a funnel, and you want us to be your board of advisor to approve those things, we're opening up 2 spots right now. Okay, we weren't going to open it up till November, but we're opening up 2 more spots into our legacy program. If you want to be interviewed for that, they'll tell you how. Put a link in the chat bar team. Go to actually, if you finish the survey, you could go to a calendar invite. You'll book a time with me. I'll ask you a bunch of questions. If I don't feel we're a fit, I'm not going to throw you to the wolves. People did that to me my whole life. Oh, you're not $1 million. You're not 5 million. Go F off, Mike. I won't do that to you. I promise. And you wouldn't still be here if you thought I was that way. I'll give you a resource. I'll give you a direction. I'll give you a plan. We'll have fun. So that's prescription number 2. prescription number 3 is if you just don't want to attend that event. And we do have a couple more events this year. So if you can't make that one, we have a Mind Power event. How many of you think you need a little bit more work here? How many of you think you have to get rid of some trauma, optimize your brain, and you have some baggage? Just type in baggage in the chat bar. Okay. We have another training coming up called Mind Power. If you want any of the trainings, feel free to book a time with me. I'll ask you questions. I'll give you a prescription for trainings. I won't put you anywhere I don't think's a fit. And the next one is wealth. How many of you want more wealth? You really want to understand how to scale, sell companies, partnerships, understand just how wealth's created today. If you want that, we got that in Orlando coming up in November. That one it's not online. It does not have a lot of room. It's in Orlando. We'll be out there for weeks. It's an incredible facility. It can only fit it can fit 200, but it will be less than that. If you want that, and we will have guest speakers there. We'll have one of the top trauma doctors for working with people with trauma there. Because why? You don't have wealth because you have trauma. Okay, don't kill the delivery guy here. Do any of you believe that's possibly true? You don't have wealth because you don't have trauma? Because if you had the skill sets to get you to where you want, you'd already be there. No shit. Same for me. If I had the skill sets to get to where we want to go, I mean, we have a bunch of companies and we're working on going for 500 million in the next 5 years. Well, if I already have the skill set for 500 million in a 5-year period, I'd already be there. So clearly I'm improving my skill sets too, right? The 500 million I did in the 2 companies, that's over the history of those 2 companies. Okay. So that's my prescription. Those of you that are new, or any of you, which part of the prescription do you love the most? And type in the chat bar. And it doesn't mean you're not committing to anything. You're just letting me know, like, Mike, I love that we're going to do Wealth Code. Even clients, like, I love we're doing Business Power. I can't wait to do Mind Power. I can't wait to do Life Power. And if you just want me to do more of these, you guys motivated me. You're so engaged. I was telling Aaron and the team, I'm like, let's see who shows up. If everybody's motivated, we'll do more of these. And these are free, right? These are free. All right, let me get the video teed up. You guys put in the information. And again, please don't, look, some people say, Mike, you're a little intense. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Don't let the intensity intimidate any of you that are new in my world. I don't bite. Schedule a call if you want to hang out with me a little bit. We'll talk. We'll give you a prescription. I'll tell you, I think based on what you said, I believe you should do this, this, and this. And those of you in my world, would you say it's true that I only put people where they need to go? Yes? Tell me in the chat bar. I put them where they need to go. I know the rest of the world, I won't mention the names of the big gurus. They got to take your money, throw you out there. At this stage in our life, we're here to make impact. We don't have to do that. All right. Tell me now real quick, look at how many pages of notes do you have? Come on, impress me a little bit, please. Impress me a little bit. How many pages of notes do you have? 5? Okay, fuck. 3 pages, that's it, Tanya? I'm going to work so much harder for you next time, I promise. Cheryl, Rodney, I am going to work way harder next time. All right, it's only because you couldn't keep up writing. I'm gonna put that in my mind, but I'm gonna get you guys more next time. Okay, so here's what we'll do now. They'll put the calendar link in and stuff for you a couple times. Tell me the number 1 action item you're gonna do. What's the first thing you're gonna do? Because if you don't do action after this, what the fuck are we doing here? You're just here staring at me. My armpits fucking sweating here for you. But I want to know your what is your action you're going to do? Type it in the chat bar. Let me get this video set. Command myself to reverse engineer with you, your team, your family. There you go. Art. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I love this. Leader, take the quiz. Oh, you guys are making my heart feel so amazing today. Okay, that's great. All right. Hey, everybody. Those of you that saw the video before, feel free to watch it again or not. If you want to watch it again, stay. If you leave, I just want you to know I'm honored. I love you guys. I appreciate all of you. I'm rooting for all of you to dominate 2025. Don't be a stranger. Those of you that are new, if you're not on my Facebook, find me, friend message me, talk to me. I don't have some AI robot. I respect all of you too much. It's me responding. Nobody's in my personal Facebook. If you're dealing with a situation, you don't have to deal in the darkness alone. Just know you have me and Food Dog as your friend, okay? Let me tee up the video. I'm gonna watch it, enjoy it with you. Pretend you have invisible popcorn, Judy. Now I programmed all of you wanting popcorn, so sorry for that. And here we go. Team, give me thumbs up that that you hear it. We're on. Oh, I do. I understand the struggles you have, the late nights, the early mornings, and the confusion. You're trying to do everything that you think you can do to just manage this thing of life and this game of business. You feel energized during the day, but then you come home. You're trying just not to break. You're trying not to crack. You want financial peace. Isn't that what you want? You want a life that feels rewarding and energized, but it seems like such a far distance. How do you create life, business, and wealth by design? I'm Mike Aguilera. I've been with my beautiful wife for well over 4 decades. I've scaled companies. I've done over 500 million. And what I want to tell you, if you're looking for a place to connect your relationship, get closer with your spouse, get closer with your kids, and start living a life of experience, go from chaos to certainty, from confusion to focus, and from average to unstoppable, I want to invite you into our world, the Food Dog Group.
Before Food Dog, we had very low net profit. Average HVAC, single digit number, even some months negative numbers. Ever since joining, we have achieved double-digit net numbers.
When we started with Mike, we were under $1 million. This year, we should be hitting $5 million.
We've sold our company, we're building more companies.
I've been a business owner since I was 17 years old. Being here, I feel like I've never learned business. An epiphany is happening.
Trying to grow $1 million business with $100,000 thinking never works out really well. And to try to build a $5 or $10 million business, being taught by someone who never did it is a sure form of disaster. A lot of people that come to us, they're coming, well, not only because we've coached well over 1,000 business owners, and they call us the coach to the coaches today. It's not just the wisdom and it's not just the knowledge, it's about the application. That's what these people are showing up for. They're showing up for a proven plan that's modifiable, put into their company, so they leave with the blueprint, the scroll of how to take their life from where it is to where they want it to go. After doing this for over 3 decades, scaling companies, doing over 500 million plus in sales, exiting 2 companies, coaching thousands of business owners, and creating what I think, at least as of today, probably more decamillionaires than anybody. I found out that there was a couple models, systems that were hidden. People just didn't know how to find them. So I went deep into not only my success, I went through my journey. So let me give you a couple wisdoms of some of our proprietary systems we built. The first one, it's called the Pinnacles. The Pinnacles are built of 3 identical wheels in size, but each wheel is different. See, there's a life wheel, there's a business wheel, and there's a wealth wheel. If your business wheel is not working, the culture, the marketing, or maybe the sales, the operation, if that's not working, does that start to affect your family? Yes. I know it does. Now the life wheel, if that's out of balance, if your health is out of balance, or your relationship is out of balance, or your money is out of balance, does that start to affect the business? Yeah, so there's a direct correlation. Now, the third one, the wealth pinnacle. When you have all three of these aligned, they're working together. Look at it like an all-terrain vehicle that's gonna climb up a mountain. When you have all three wheels working, you got traction and you start to go up the mountain. But if one of the wheels starts to fall apart, it directly affects the other wheel. That's why you want to not only understand the pinnacles, you want to master it. Now, the next part that I want to talk to you about is the powers. You have to understand our powers, the Food Dog Powers, digs into not only your logical, your conscious thinking mind, but it digs into your subconscious. You're like, Mike, what's the subconscious? It's everything that happened in your life, which the majority of people today, unfortunately, have sales trauma, marketing trauma. So we have to dial in on that mind growth section. Now, after that, the second main core part of this powers, Food Dog's powers, is skill power. You need to have coaching. You need someone who's gonna help you, but you don't need someone to ask, so what do you think you would do? You need some form of managing, because a lot of you just don't know how to manage your time. You don't know how to manage your relationships. So not only do you need the coaching, you need the managing. And some of us need a form of accountability, but you don't need accountability. You need accountable programming inside of you. See, when you have accountable programming, you don't have to have someone else beg you to do what you need to do. So what's the third main part of this power? It's action. And I know you've heard it from all the muscle people out there. You gotta take relentless action and grind it out and jog 1,000,000 miles. But I haven't jogged 1,000,000 miles, and I didn't have to grind it out like that. The two core models here is the pinnacles, the life, the business, the wealth wheels by design. And we look at the powers where there's the mind, there's the skills, and there's the actions of it. Then what's the last model? It is what we call the Parthenon. The Parthenon is built of 7 key pillars, 7 key pieces that you have to have in place. And if you put these in place and you focus on them one by one by one, you will move faster. That is just a glimpse of the stuff that we teach at Food Dog Group. So if you're a business owner and you're looking for a place to get help, support, knowledge, wisdom to change the game in your business, and you know that you want to be in an environment where it's very family-minded environment, where everybody understands, where they all want to become healthier. They want to get closer with their family and closer with their spouse. Well, then I invite you into our world.
It's been not even 6 months. My business has changed pretty drastically. This month isn't even over. It's the highest sales we've ever had. My relationship with my wife, so that's a whole new world as well. And I think being in Food Dog has helped me be able to step into the person I want to be and have that life that I want by design.
Food Dog is the whole picture. It's not just a one thing solution. It allows us to take so many different aspects, whether it's business, it's life, it's wealth, it's finances, it's the whole life wheel, our family. It's like that support system that you have for anything that comes up.
It is a lot more than just business. So it's life, business, family, health, wealth, so much stuff. My life in every category is much, much better since I joined Food Dog.
I was very unbalanced in my relationship. We were niche focused as an agency, but when we look at the bigger landscape, there's a sea of opportunities that we were keeping ourselves from expanding into. And now the possibilities are endless here.
I didn't expect to go that fast, that quickly, but also I didn't expect to be where I am as quickly as I am either, as far as an author, my business, just my whole different mindset and how I approach business and everything in life, how I look at things differently.
And that's why I come to Food Dog, because they're the best organization in the world when it comes to personal development.
You get what you need and you take it back with you. End of story.
We already know that you want to scale your business. You just need the power, the plan, the blueprint, and that's what we're going to give you. I kept waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right place, the right year, when my family is grown up, when my connection with my wife is better. But here's what I will share with you. It only gets better when you take massive action. Let's have a talk and let's change not only your business, but your life so you can create financial peace and legacy. Boom, there you have it, everybody. I hope you, if you enjoyed that, give a big boom in the chat bar. I hope you enjoyed our little movie time together. We appreciate you guys. It's time for you to go. Knock it out of the park. We love you. Boom. We'll see you on the next one. Reach out if we can serve you. See ya.